Regan Slaymaker for Not Just Boxing, and I have the pleasure to be joined by the British welterweight champion, Conah Walker. Conor, do you ever get tired of hearing that one, mate?
Nah, mate, nah. I might have it on my gravestone.
I mean,
You know what I mean? I'm so proud of it. I am honestly. It was my dream. You know, starting out in professional ranks to become British champion. I've secured myself. You know, some legacy for my son to grow up and say my dad was British champion. So no, I don't get sick of hearing it.
no, definitely, mate, as well. I mean, we'll get into the fight with Liam Taylor in a minute, but let's talk about that fight. I caught up with you after the Harry Scarf fight. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a changing room so buzzing after that win. But yeah, I mean, like you said, you'll never get over it. But now you've had time to reflect on the win. How many times have you rewatched it? How many times have you kind of reflected on that night? Because I mean, until like I think in our own post-fight interview, you admitted that kind of Harry Scarf was up, but you never gave up, you never gave in, and you got that stoppage win, mate.
Yeah, look, it was obviously a fight. He was a box of tricks. Do you know what I mean? But he was. I felt like I was working him out, and people, you can hear the commentary. People are thinking, I'm out and I'm done here. But like, if I think it was from the seventh round, if you watch like he sort of went down because like I leant on his neck a bit. These are the telling factors for me that you're slowing down and you're gonna set your feet soon. And I think he was thinking from the seventh round onwards. I thought, I'm gonna get you soon, mate. I am gonna get you. There's only so much, for 12 rounds to do that much moving. It takes a lot out of you. So, I knew that he had to set his feet at some point, and the shot that I landed was a shot that we drilled. So, you know, I'd like to say that it was all part of the plan, but obviously it was just it played out as it was. But I'd like to have done it sooner. But it is what it is. There's a reason why there's 12 rounds in a fight.
Definitely, mate, as well. I remember seeing that yourself and Rich posted that clip of you practicing that shot in training. Obviously, like you said, you'd have liked to have it to happen sooner in the fight. But how does it like? How important is it when you're in that fight to not get disheartened? I suppose you're probably the fighter who gets disheartened the least. Obviously, we've seen your fights, but how important is it? I will find that shot at some point. How important is it to stay on that positive mindset, especially in a fight like that as well?
It's like it's again. I revert back to life. In life, whatever you're doing, you can't just stop because you've had a bad day. You can't stop because you don't stop walking if you stubbed your toe. You got to keep going, ain't you? Do you know what I mean? That's the bottom line, and that was my dream to become world champion. So why am I just gonna? You know what? I'm getting out of box here. I might just to sit on my stool and have this sit this one out. No, you see it out, and you work towards winning, and winning is the only is the key to it all. So I was determined and I was hungry and I worked him out in the end.
You definitely did, mate, as well. And obviously, after that fight, obviously now I think Liam Taylor was installed as mandatory. I think there's been a bit of a backlog into it, but Liam Taylor, June the 21st. I mean, excited to be back in the ring, but also back in Birmingham as well, somewhere close to your hometown.
Yeah, mate, I'm absolutely buzzing. We've done really well on the tickets again. Um, he's another good fighter, but he's one where I think I see holes. I see holes, and I see I see gaps, and the way I'm performing, it's going to take a real good fighter to beat me, and it's not Liam Taylor.
Definitely, mate, as well. I suppose you touched on it there. Like, what does kind of obviously Liam Taylor? He's only lost to two really good guys. I mean, one of them, David Avanesyan, being the one, has a similar style to yourself as well. But how much do you know about Liam Taylor going into this one?
Yeah, we shared the ring. We've done some
Okay.
rounds. I analyze fighters. You know what I mean? I do a lot of analyzing. So, I feel like I'm in tune with these rhythms, and I'm excited to get in there and test myself once again. I've got it all to lose now. Um, the pressure's on my back, so I've just got to go out there and do what I've been doing, and that's good stuff. I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm just coming on leaps and bounds under the guidance of Jamie and Nigel.
Definitely. I want to talk about teaming up with Jamie and Nigel next as well, but I've got a question written down. You've just touched on there. How are you going into this fight? Obviously, a lot of the fights previously that I've seen you before, I've caught up with you beforehand and after, kind of, you've always maintained that underdog mentality, right? You've always been the guy. Like, a lot of people have just been writing you off even before the fights happened, but you're the champion now, right? No one, like you said at the beginning, no one can take that away from you. What is your mindset going into this fight?
Just another head, you know. But my mindset going in is now I'm now a fully form. I'm in full form, and I'm an established professional.
Mm,
Um, you know what I mean? I'm confident in my abilities. And at this stage of my career, you can put anyone in front of me. And I'm going to be confident in my abilities, and I'm going to end them. Do you know what I mean? I've got no whoever's in front of me now. They're taking food off my plate, and they're stopping me getting the life that I need to secure for me and my family. So everyone gets the same treatment. No respect, and it's I'm a train now, and I'm just looking to just run them all over.
definitely as well. I mean, obviously all the focus on Liam Taylor, but obviously previously we've been talking about fights with Paddy Donovan, rematches with Lewis Crocker. But one fight he got a great win, not last weekend, the weekend before, Ekow Essuman. That could be a massive fight for. I mean, that could go into Birmingham, that could go into Nottingham, that could go to Wolverhampton as well. I mean, that's a fight where not all the fans are not too far away from each other, and it's two styles that could really clash, couldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, no, it'd be a great fight. Me and Echo, we talk regular. He's a good lad, and he knows that I'd love to fight him. I respect him. I think he's done amazing things in the sport, but he's one that I need to tick off. You know what I mean? I beat him, and then I'm that guy. Then do you know what I mean? I've done a fair bit in the last few years, but there's a lot more I need to tick off, and Echo Essuman's one of them. So he's look, I've got to see Liam Taylor out first, and
Of
then
course.
I'm open to all fights. Like I said to you in the past, I want to get to the end of my career and look at my boxer and fight and look and say I fought everyone who was who was uh who was at the top of their game, and you know what I mean. I'm not going out there looking for spent fighters that have done loads in the sport, but they're at the back end of the career. I want to fight them in the prime, and I want to test myself, and I want to have nights where put bums on seats, and everyone walks out there going, "Oh, do you remember that? Because you see that Conah Walker fight? That was a fight of the night." Do you know what I mean? And I just want to keep doing that.
Definitely, and I think a lot of fans are going to boxing shows where Conor Walker's on the bill, and they're saying that already, Conor as well. Going back to what I said about kind of Liam Taylor's defeat to Avanesian, do you think kind of a lot of the success that Avanesian had, that front forward pressure, relentless punching, the kind of the similar stuff, do you think that is one key to success that you could have on June the 21st?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Look, it's I've watched that. That was 5 years ago now.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That was 5 years ago, and it's I try not to look too much into to that far back because a lot changes, a lot moves on, um, but yeah, I can't sit here and say that I'm not gonna charge at someone because that's what I do, mate. You know what I mean? I like to give the fans what they pay the hard-earned money for is a good old fight. So, but we're doing it in a way now where what I mean. It's cute and it's effective. I'm not just um I'm not just coming at people. I'm doing it methodically and coming at in different angles, and I've got a bit more, a few more strings to my bow now.
definitely. I mean, talked about calculated pressure, like we'll talk about your training team. Jamie Moore, probably the master at there. I mean, he's known for coming forward. He's known for his boxing ability as well, beating people kind of that were thought to be above his station as well. Very similar to you. But I mean, how is it? I mean, every time I mention Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis, I have a smile on my face because every time I see them, that they have me in stitches. But what's it like firsthand? I mean, teaming up with them since your Harry Scarf fight.
Yeah, amazing, mate. Honestly, it feels like I've just slotted in like the missing piece of the puzzle. Um, and it's just down to them being good people. Do you know what I mean? It's obviously a added bonus that their boxing ability, their boxing brains, and their way of training. It's just me, and I feel like I've really adopted the style and the gym's just been. It's almost like I was meant to be here. It was all meant to happen, if you know what I mean. And me and Jamie share a lot of the same, you know, think what would you call it? Similar, um, like processes of thoughts, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And obviously, it just go so happens I'm trying to be a carbon cutout of Jamie. That's how over the years I've watched a lot of Jamie and tried to adopt his style. So, and now I'm here. So it's a bit of a dream, and I think that you're just going to see the best of me now.
Definitely, mate. As well, like you mentioned, obviously the styles are quite similar. They're not changing anything kind of drastic about you, kind of. But like, what is different about the training, or what is new that you've kind of that you might have never done before, or is it kind of same but different, if that makes sense? What are the new things?
So it's same but different. Don't get me wrong, but like it's what one of the good things about being up here is so you box every day. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so you sort of just you're following on from where you left off every day. So the next day, it's and there's a system. You know what I mean? They work to a system which, I've got that. It's like dialed in now.
Mm.
So we work on a system, and everything comes off them systems. It's like, it's just how I've done it over the years, but I've never had I've never been told it or taught it. It's just how I've done it myself. But
Hmm.
it's like, I feel like, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's experience. I think that their experience is what makes them who they are, and they've done it at the top level. Jamie's done it, boxed it, and he's taught it. He's taught some of the best boxers, of the generations before us, and now he's training some of the best lads of our generation. So, it's the just trust and the belief in what they're saying to you is it installs confidence.
Is it a case as well? It's my final question on the guys in the gym. Obviously, where they've had Chantel Cameron to world titles, obviously Jack Cattrall to, I mean, beating the best super lightweights, best people in his division of recent times, going on that run. I mean, the fighters that they've had like, it's not just what they're telling you. The proof is also in the pudding. Is that also kind of good for the mindset? It's like it's not that you believe what they're saying. There's also proof of that is successful as well. Is that also a big part of it?
Yeah, that's it. Look, I'm like I said, I study the game and whatever else, and the fighters that he's took to world level. Obviously he's been at world level now, and he's taught the likes of Macklin, Chantal Cameron. All these people they've been there and done it. So like you say, it gives you that added sort of trust in what's coming out of his mouth. And I'm doing it. I'm doing everything they say, and I'm you know what I mean. It's everything's just falling into place, and I feel like I'm ready to take on the world now, not just Liam Taylor. I feel like, what I mean. I'm ready to take on every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Well, definitely. Well, I hope every Tom, Dick, and Harry is ready for the Wolf. Wolf after June the 21st. Of course, Liam
Yeah,
Taylor is,
that's
is in the way. But Connor, I'll leave it there, mate. But have you got any final words? I mean, the fans in their Conor Walker t-shirts flocking to the BP Pulse Arena on June the 21st, mate.
yeah, mate. I'm so thankful for again a massive ticket sales again. I'm going to order some more now. I'm waiting for Bella to get back to me. So another few hundred tickets are getting ordered. So it's going to be another massive night, and I'll get them all going again, and whatever else. So it's 2 weeks on Saturday, so get yourself down there, tune in, and be in for a good night.
Definitely. Well, I for one, I'm in for a good night on June the 21st. Conor Walker, thank you much. Pleasure as always, mate.
Nice one, Regan. Thank you, bro.
Cheers, mate.